Bradfield Bridge spanning the Bremer River joining Riverlink Shopping Centre with the Ipswich Mall is now officially opened. I joined the hundreds of people who gathered to be part of this historic day. It's been this river that has been the challenge to be able to cross for pedestrian traffic, but today that issue has been resolved with the opening of the Bradfield Bridge. A large crowd gathered for the official opening of the Bradfield Bridge on the north side of the river, with Mayor Paul Pasali doing the honours as he officially opened the bridge.
On behalf of the people of this, we declare the Dr. John Bradfield Bridge officially open!
Also in attendance was great-granddaughter of Dr. John Bradfield,
Antonelli,
Anna Jackson.
And Ipswich City Council for inviting me here today. Although I never knew my great-grandfather, Dr. John Bradfield, affectionately known as JJC, he has always been a large figure in our family. I do know that he was very proud to be a Queenslander and had a place in his heart for his hometown of Ipswich.
As a young boy attending Ipswich North Primary School, my attention was always drawn to a framed picture depicting the Sydney Harbour Bridge and also the photo of a gentleman. That gentleman, Dr. John Job Crew Bradfield. And with that photo, some text stating that Bradfield had both designed and built this most recognised and iconic Australian symbol, the Sydney Harbour Bridge. The very thought that an Ipswich boy, and one from Ipswich North State School no less, had been involved in building such a magnificent structure awed and inspired me. John Bradfield grew up in Ipswich and was educated in Ipswich. He was identified by his primary school principal as possessing high intellect and recommended to the Ipswich Boys Grammar for a scholarship. Both schools, ironically, from both sides of the river, are represented here today, and I'd like to recognise the Ipswich North Primary School Band who played earlier, if we can put our hands together for them, and they were supplemented by members of the Ipswich State High School Band. As you will hear later from Mr. Bradfield's great-granddaughter, Bradfield was to excel in every educational endeavour he was to undertake. Most notably, he was Dux of Ipswich Grammar in 1885. After graduating from Sydney University, he returned to Queensland where he worked on many public works projects, particularly those involved with Queensland Rail. Once the work dried up, he returned to Sydney in 1891, where his vision for a bridge linking the suburbs of North Sydney with Sydney City started to manifest within him. It had been a dilemma for the people of Sydney that there was no such connecting link between the north and the city, and that such lack of a link was holding the city of Sydney back. Is anyone seeing a connection here? It was, of course, to be some time before Bradfield would get his wish and he would be involved in such an audacious project. And audacious is the correct word to use, because such a link had never been before achieved anywhere in the world. In 1912, he was appointed the chief engineer in charge of the Sydney Harbour Bridge project and the City Transit project. It would be a further 20 years before the Sydney Harbour Bridge and the City Transit would be completed. Even though Bradfield had been involved in so many amazing and successful achievements as an engineer, and far too many to mention here today, the Sydney Harbour Bridge, completed in 1932, would be recognised as his crowning achievement.
And to the people of Ipswich, thanks for showing up to the Bradfield Bridge opening. It's your bridge. It's the people's bridge. It's about what we wanted to do. It's about making sure that we link two sides of the river together by a connector. So I want to thank Council for their vision and the people for their understanding in what's happening here. Later on in November, you will see the new plans for our new CBD being redevelopment. I want to thank you for your confidence when Council decided to spend $45 million in buying our own CBD.
But before I get into the acknowledgements, I'd like to shout out a big hooray! It's finally come to fruition. This is no optical illusion, folks.
Well, we've heard from the official party what they think of the bridge. Let's ask some of the people from the city what they think. You've been across the Bradfield Bridge. What do you think?
I think it's real good. It's nice. Seeing I come from Sangay.
What will it mean to be able to link Riverlink to the City Mall?
Oh, That'd be really good if you can park that side, walk across, because we live on the other side there at Bradfield.
Absolutely. Ipswich is our city and we are so proud of Ipswich and the way it's going. And this bridge is just wonderful because, as the Mayor points out, it is going to link the two sides of the river.
Yes.
And instead of that being the CBD over there, which it has been for so many years, now it's the CBD on the north side of the river and the south side of the river. For Ipswich, which is such a growing place, so many people coming to live in Ipswich, this bridge is just wonderful. We're so proud to be
Amazing.
Ipswich people.
Yeah.
It's just, I mean, it's an astounding feat of engineering, isn't it, to think that they've managed to create a bridge that's brand new on 100-year-old pylons, but they've managed to make it look like this new bridge has been here for 100 years. I say hats off to the engineers and hats off once again to Ipswich.
Oh no, excellent,
It's
great
amazing.
piece of work, yeah.
Wonderful. We're really thrilled that it's here in Ipswich.
And getting into the swing of it with the costume.
Well, yes, the costume is for 150 years for the bridge.
The celebrations have brought hundreds of people from the city here to not only be part of the official ceremony, but also to be able to cross this bridge, an historic moment in the city's history. The Bradfield Bridge is now officially opened.